I feel very fortunate to live in such a beautiful area. I know I'm biased, but I just love the roads of South East Ireland. They're stunningly beautiful, and at the same time, they proved an amazing training ground back when I was racing. If you're curious to see the roads I normally ride on, maybe you want to visit the area, or you just want to see what I get up to on an everyday spin, stay tuned, because this is my presenter ride. And guess what? We're in our little spot of Ireland. Oh, starting to feel the legs. Beautiful. Watch out, sheep, I'm coming! Right, here we are at Clonea Strand near Dungarvan, the start and end point of today's loop. And I tell you what, there's just so much history, culture, and for us cyclists, beautiful roads to show you today. I can't wait to get going, but first off, check out the bike I'm going to ride it on. This is from Ooyy. I think you can tell I designed it myself. Tribute to my favourite Irish roads, and I think you can tell where I got the inspiration from. Love it, beautiful bike, what a cracker. Aha! All right. Leaving the beach, I joined the Waterford Greenway heading east. You can get here from the coast without riding on the road at all, so if you plan on doing this section with kids or enjoy a car-free start to a ride, this is a great starting option. Now, the route I've picked out today is 126 kilometres long with 1,600 metres of elevation. We start by heading up the Waterford Greenway and east along the coast, before heading inland along the River Suir and looping back through the Cumra Mountains, hitting 2 climbs along the way before a final descent back through Dungarvan and finishing at the coast. Also, it's worth noting before we get going that my route is available on Komoot, so if you want to check out where I've been today, then simply click on the link in the description below. It's a challenging route, you don't have to do it all, you can skip off some bits, but I really would recommend trying out the Cumra Mountains, as you will soon see. Okay, this is the Waterford Greenway, a fantastic facility here in Waterford. It's 46 kilometres long and based on the old disused Great Southern Railway. And this section of that railway is between Dungarvan and Waterford. It's car-free and a perfect surface for cyclists and walkers alike. And I love adding it into any sort of ride I'm doing. However, when I'm on my racer, I do take the pace relatively slow and just enjoy the view. And those views are fantastic from here. Beautiful. Okay, and this is my favourite part of the Greenway, the Ballyvoyle Tunnel. A quarter of a mile long, it was built in 1878. And you can just imagine trundling through here on a train in times of old. The ferns and moss on the approaching embankment really give it a tropical feel. And I just love riding through here. It's such a unique experience. Morning, how's it going? And everyone loves it riding along here. It's a great addition to the Greenway, really something different. It's still really quite dark as well, so you have to watch yourself when you're moving through it. Take care and caution, and also watch out for the fairies. There's plenty of fairy houses along here too. So yeah, just a heads up. So I'm 15 kilometres in and now I'm leaving the ferry doors and the Waterford Greenway behind and heading towards my next stop, the Copper Coast Road. Right, here we go, the Copper Coast Road, and this is probably one of my favourite parts of this ride. I'm probably going to say that a lot actually today, but this is an epic part of the ride. I always stop here, no matter what ride I'm doing, no matter what training, no matter how serious I am. This is just an awesome part of the ride. Now, this part of the road is called the Copper Coast Road, and it's named after the vast copper mines which were found here in the 19th century. These days, however, it's a UNESCO geopark and an absolutely beautiful place to ride your bike. There's plenty of stinging climbs that you really have to grapple with to get up from beach to beach, and also you're rewarded with these fantastic views out over the coastline. I'll tell you what, I'm relishing riding it today. I used to ride here a lot when I was racing. I think I used to try and factor it into pretty much every ride I did at one point. I just love having the coast on my shoulder to look out to. And I tell you what, The little stingers of climbs on this road really are good for the form. You didn't really need a power meter to tell you that. I'd be suffering up them no matter what, and I'd know if I was on a good day if I could get up them while sitting in the saddle. If I was at the saddle grovelling, it's a different story. We have views like that, it doesn't really matter, does it? Another thing I like to do as well, actually, there's plenty of fishermen who sell mackerel on this road. So to come here and buy mackerel and bring it home for a barbecue. Good little tip, just look out for the little signs on the roadside and you'll see them. Great, great mackerel. Okay, if you ride this section in total between Waterford and Dungarvan, it's probably around 50 kilometres, 40 or 50 kilometres. Now, we're not doing all of it, we're doing about half that. And I'm going to turn off just after Anstown and begin to head inland towards Fennel Bog. Okay, one last thing before we leave the coast road. If you are riding on this route, you may encounter a sport called road bowling, which takes place actually on this stretch of road sometimes. Now, road bowling is basically who can throw a 28-ounce iron ball down a long stretch of road in the least amount of throws possible. It's a fantastic sport. It's great to see it happening in the flesh. I was hoping it would be here today, but it's not. But just to kind of highlight how quiet these roads actually are when you're riding along. This is a bank holiday Monday. Look at it. Nothing. That's the best part of the route, if I'm honest. Just no cars. It's brilliant. You could be riding for a couple of hours and you'll see no one. Okay, now I'm heading inland. I've left the coast road. This is a great little cut through actually. I really love this little section. So now I'm going through Fennel Bog, which is a small acidic fen peat area. And this road I'm on passes this beautiful little lake called Ballyscanlon Lake. And I think it's got one of the best views actually on the whole ride. You'll see in a second, you can see the lake and the mountains in the background where I'll be heading later in the ride. Whew, bit of a climb up to it first. Beautiful countryside, isn't it? Ballyscanlon Lake, you can see Fennel Bog just in the background there. Cumber Mountains as well on the horizon. No wonder I like training so much around here. Right, I'm back on the Greenway, rejoined it in the opposite direction, so I'm heading away from Waterford here, and this bit is equally as beautiful. You have the River Sure just on your right hand shoulder, you have the old train line as well, just right next to the bike path, and it's pretty stunning, isn't it? The river's quite large here, so it's great to have that as a backdrop. And I'm heading towards Kilmeaden now. I love a little cafe in a train carriage. Time to pull this train into the station. As you can see, the train still goes every now and again, mostly on special days. Should have got a lift for them, shouldn't I? Hey, right, leaving Kilmeaden now, and I'm heading towards Portlaw and the Clonaghan Round Tower. Right, get the head down now. Whoa. But first, I tell you have to get up this thing. Whoa. Now, it's a relatively unknown climb leaving Portlaw, and I think even a few locals might be scratching their heads as to where this is, but I tell you what, it's an absolute brute of a climb. I think maybe one of the hardest in the area. Reminds me quite a lot of the Mur de Ooyy, and oh, definitely hurting my legs. Oh, right, see you at the top. Yeah, okay, I might be walking a little section, but I promise you, it's worth it to see the tower. There's the tower. Right, that's it, Clonaghan Round Tower, bit of history on the loop, built in 1785. Nice little stop off and nice to get into the woods as well, but plenty more of the ride to go, so we better crack on, come on. Okay, I'm down from the tower, and I'll tell you one thing, I'm going to crack on a bit and get my head down, because, well, I've been rambling on a bit, haven't I? So I need to get back onto schedule and get to the Cumra Mountains. Now this is going to be a real serious part of this ride. We're heading first to Mahon Falls and the Magic Road, which I'll explain more behind the naming of the Magic Road in a second. It's curious, isn't it? But for now, a bit of speed needed. Into those mountains we go. Ha-ha! Just for fun. Okay, right, I'm on the lower slopes of Mahon Falls now, and this is the first climb on the loop that goes into the Cumra Mountains. And I tell you what, it's a challenge of a climb. Doesn't matter your ability or your riding level, you'll feel this one in the legs. It's 4.8 kilometers long with an average gradient of 6.6%, and there's a nasty, nasty sting at the top, which I'll show you once we get there, but got to get there first. Not easy this climb now. There's also something rather curious I'm going to show you halfway up, so stay tuned for that. Oh, starting to feel the legs. 2 main climbs to go as well, but we'll make it. We'll make it, won't we, Ooyy? Irish Ooyy. Okay, so I'm just kind of on the lower slopes of Mahon Falls and I've taken a bit of a breather because the main reason I want to show you this climb is for something a little bit special on this stretch of road. We call this bit the Magic Road, okay? And there's a bit of magic that sometimes happens here, which I'm going to explain to you. Okay, local legend has it that on this stretch of road, fairies live just off in the undergrowth there. They have a little fairy house, not sure if you can see it, just up here, fairy tree. I think that's kind of where they live, better not insult them too much. Now, what you want to look out for, just on the lower slopes, after the cattle grid, as you're riding up, there's 2 stones and a bit of paraphernalia at the side of the road towards the fairy tree. Now, on this stretch of road, it's said that the fairies want to usher you off their land because they don't want you here for too long. So, because the road's uphill, they'll come down and give you a helping hand up the hill and off their land. So, I thought I'd come here and give it a go on my bike and see if it works. See if the fairies want to get rid of me. Let's give it a go, shall we? Right, I'm trying to find the fairy house. I've taken a detour. It's a bit eerie, isn't it? It's where the fairies live. The fairies should push me up the road. So it's uphill, but I should roll forward. Let's see. Come on, fairies, give me a lift. Come on, I want to go up the road. One more try, see if they give me a helping hand. Okay, thanks. So apart from the fairies, this climb is stunningly beautiful. Look at that. As you can see, I'm on the really steep bit at the top of Mahon Falls here, nearly at the top. You can see the Mahon Falls just over my shoulder there in the background, and this is just an absolutely stunning view from this climb. One of the highlights of the ride for sure. And once we get over the top, we'll be cresting the climb, we'll be descending down towards the Celtic Sea, more beautiful views of the Cumras, and a bit of welcome respite for the legs. Nearly there. Made it. Right, now we're on to the descent of Mahon Falls. I tell you what, this is the fastest descent in the whole area. You've got to be really careful on this one. Use the brakes, mind the sheep, and take it with a lot of caution because once you lose control here, you're not getting it back. And on that note, I better get down. Watch out, sheep. Need a bit of rejuvenation, I tell you, I'm starting to feel it. 7 hours riding time. Probably take you a bit less time when you don't have to film every little corner. Woohoo! Watch out, sheep, I'm coming! I'm coming! A little bit of a shower, but it hasn't dampened the spirits. That's what makes the vegetation so green after all. This is Ireland. Now, from Mahon Falls, I've headed south, and I'm now going to cross the Cumra Mountains via the Moormore Pass, which, in my opinion, gives the best panoramic view of the region. It's really a spectacular climb and feels a little bit like a slice of the Alps here in our little corner of Ireland. Moormore Pass. Now, the Cumra Mountains are a glaciated mountain range in southeast Ireland, with the highest peak being Kilclooney Mountain at 800 metres altitude. One of my favourite stories regarding these mountains is about a guy called Jim Fitzgerald, who was known as Lacandara Jim. Now, returning from World War I, Jim was said to be suffering from extreme shell shock, like many of the men who returned from that horrendous war. Now, he sought isolation in these mountains, living in a cave not too far from here. He was very rarely seen and was known as a hermit. He'd go into town every couple of weeks for essential supplies, but would quickly leave again, returning to his peaceful isolation. And when I'm riding through here, I often hope that Jim found that peace and isolation that he was looking for after what can only be described as the hellish brutality of World War I. We've got trouble. Descending the Moormore Pass, the road twists and turns. There are various smaller back roads down towards my next stop in Dungarvan. I'm still finding some of them, if I'm honest. Small hairpin roads, grass in the middle, not a soul around, and steep as anything. This is my preferred back road route down, for the time being anyway. Right, I've made it to the final stop on my loop, the harbour town of Dungarvan. Now, this is the start of the Waterford Greenway, and it is also the perfect place to stop for a bite to eat. There's plenty of amazing places to get some food around here, and also a nice coffee if you so wish. I also happen to know the best fish and chip shop in the whole entire world. It's just over my shoulder there. It's rather tempting at the moment. But, well, the tide isn't going to take me home now. I've still got a few kilometres to go, and I better get cracking. I'm going to go back via the Waterford Greenway, of course, and last little push, and then we're back by the sea. Oh, we're on by the sea now, but you know what I mean, it's the harbour, I need to get back to the beach. Could take the boat, couldn't I? Okay, right, I've delayed the ride. I've bought fish and chips. Got hungry talking about them. Oh, and that's it. Back to where we started at Clonea Strand. Weather's been kind to me today. It's been an absolutely fantastic day and an honour to share my local training roads with you all. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do have any questions about the loop or about the area, please whack them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to get back to you all. But I'll tell you what, right now I'm absolutely starving, so I'm off to find some food. Oh, been nice to reminisce on some of those old roads. It's been a great old ride. Thanks for steering me around, Ooyy. Right, let's go and find some food, shall we? Thanks everyone, see you soon.